Hello everyone, my name is Min, and today I would like to share with you my leadership profile after I did a survey on Globe website. So first, I'm gonna share with you my profile descriptions, and then I will compare my profile with my country, which is Vietnam, followed by comparing my profile against China and Japan. Uh, these countries have the same characteristic like Vietnam. And I also share with you the advice from GlobeSmart regarding to my profile and China and Japan. And then I will compare my profile with Australia and the US, where they have a different culture compared to Asian countries, and also receive a feedback from GlobeSmart. And then I build up my personal leadership profile to deal with the different cultures from the East as well as from the West. So here is my result. So let's see what this means to me. So as you can see, I'm more interdependent, which means that I place a great importance on the group harmony and cooperations, and I also devise the identity from my group affiliations, and I feel a sense of duty, obligation, and loyalty to a group. The next one is the status. So I'm more prefer not to challenge those people that have a higher position than me. um, I have deferential to superiors. I also have appropriate behavior depending on the people with different positions, and I acknowledge the power and authority should be reserved for a few members of a group. Next one is the certainty. So I really don't like risk. So I spend a lot of time to do my research before I do things. I also have a proper standards or procedures before I starting a projects, and also I value about the thoroughness over the speed. And I also have an indirect style to giving my opinions to others. So normally I spend time explaining the context before I coming to the point. Um, I avoid directly asking the questions that may make other people feel offense or lose their face in the public. And I express my disagreement in um, subtle ways, not the direct one. And I provide my negative feedback also indirectly. And in terms of relationship, I also value the relationship that I spend time to build a relationship is the key to get the best results. I also prioritize to maintain relationships against accomplished tasks on time, and I focus on people know as much as what they themselves can achieve. Let's see my profile against my countries, Vietnam. Well, it's quite interesting that you can see that in somehow I'm a little bit different. In terms of uh, interdependence, I think Vietnamese more interdependent than myself. Um, Whereas I also value status, but not as much as Vietnamese do. Um, and regarding to the risk perspective, I also less risky than Vietnamese. And the same one is, I think we both have indirect expressions to other people. And in terms of the task and relationship, it seems that I still value the relationship, but not as much as the Vietnamese. And here is the comparisons between my profile and other Asian country, which are China and Japan. And as you can see, I think I still more Western than China and Japan. And next, let's see what's Globe Smart advise me on this case. And here is the advice from Globe Smart. In order for me to fit well when working with Chinese and Japanese. So for because they're more interdependent than me, so what I should do is I always provide and follow standard guidelines, uh, as well as I need to share the procedure for problem solving and escalation of issues. In terms of status, I also need to be aware of the relative rank of the individuals I'm dealing with in order to have appropriate behavior and show the respect to them. And in terms of risk, because I'm more or less risk perceived than Japanese and Chinese, so I should they advise that I should expect the change to occur quickly, and I should be comfortable with the last minute change, as well as I need to focus on the solutions and future benefits. Uh, in terms of relationships, I need to judge a person's based on whom they know, and how they are connected, not just what they know or what they can do. And I also need to listen well and demonstrate an interest in learning about the local situation before making any actions. And in terms of talking about my qualifications and experience or status or accomplishments, I need to find a way, not direct way to show that, but I need to tell them indirectly about that. Let's see what is my profile comparing to Australia and the US. And as you can see here, it's very interesting to see that there is a big gap between my profile and Australia and the US. So here is the advices from Globe Smart for me when dealing with American and Australians. So as you can see that Australian and Americans are more independent. So when dealing with them, I need to take more individual initiative in most situations. So I need to seek clarifications when I'm not sure about something, or if I don't know about a process, as well as initiating the conversations to build up the relationship with my college on the jobs. And also I need to speak up in the meetings and also actively to give my opinions and feedbacks to others. In terms of egalitarianisms, I need to be flexible regarding to roles and attitudes about appropriate behavior for people in those roles. I need to be more willing to make exceptions and also bend the rules, and be more willing to challenge the opinions from my supervisors as well. And Americans and Australians are also risk takers. So when working with them, I also need to accept the last minute change, and I need to focus on the solutions and future benefits with the fewer rules and guidelines and directions. And in terms of um, attitude, I need to be direct and open to them. So when I need to say something, I need to talk to them directly, introduce myself, and expressing the interest in learning about them. And also, I need to show my confidence, like with a handshake, firm handshake, and also have a strong eye contact is also important as well. And as the Australian and Americans are task focused, so I also need to take the initiative to clarify a situations. So don't wait for the situations to be explained to me. After I did my survey and received feedback from GlobeSmart, I built up my personal leadership profile in order to successfully deal with the people from the East as well as the people from the West. So for people from the East, when working with them, I need to always seek for their opinions as well as getting the agreement from all members of my group regarding to problem solving and escalation of issues. I also need to respect and have appropriate behavior with people who have a higher position than myself. I also need to comfortable with the last minute change and expecting change to occur quickly, as well as a fewer rules and guidelines. I also need to, when I need to give my opinions or feedback, I need to do it in the indirect way in order to uh, make someone that feel comfortable and without making them losing their face. And I also need to build up relationship with my college before getting to do the task. And when working with the people from the West, I need to be actively dealing with the issues without seeking permission from other people. I also need to be more flexible regarding to roles and attitude about appropriate behavior for people in those roles. I can also challenge their opinions even though their position is higher than me. And I need to accept more risk and focus on solutions and benefits. I need to be direct when expressing my opinions and ideas to other people. And I need to focus on the results uh, rather than the relationship. So, this is the end of my presentations. So, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed.